In today's episode, we're going to present an original method of applying patches on the nails. It's what we call patch art.
Hi, I'm Connie, and this is a channel dedicated to the art of nail styling. Today's episode will be a bit of a treat as we divulge an original method of applying patch art.
We covered the nails with shades from the Master of Pastel collection: Easter Twister, Trella Morella, Melancholic, Ice Dream, Marmalady, Mr. Pancake, and Extra. Additionally, we'll be using Arte Brillante in white, black poison, mocha, and caramel cake. We'll enrich our design by shading with rose water, and we'll finish each nail off with the top of super matte. The surface of the nail and our smooth color will matte using the 220 to 280 buffer. The nail art glass will serve as a palette for our colors, which we'll use to create our decoration. We'll use the mixing tool to mix the transparent compositions for shading, and we'll fill our decoration using two brushes, our Master Nail Art 004 and 007, together with a probe. Our client's hand already features three shades from the Master of Pastel collection: Easter Twister, Trella Morella, and Marmalady. We'll be creating today's patch art on the bare, middle, and ring fingernails.
When choosing a background for patch art, remember to follow the color wheel and choose opposite colors. With patch art, this selection additionally highlights the effect of the patch and adds depth to the decoration.
Apply the Mr. Pancake shade on the middle nail, once it's been matted and degreased. We apply the first layer of color with a slight distance from the cuticles. When applied evenly and delicately, it shouldn't show through at this stage. We cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. The second layer acts as an addition of color pigment. Cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. Next, we coat the ring fingernail with the extra in the same way. Cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. After our smooth colors have been cured, we degrease them using a cotton pad soaked in wipe off and matte them using the 220 to 280 buffer.
So, why exactly are we matting our two freshly painted nails? Well, to make it much easier to paint a sketch. On a matted and buffed surface, the pencil will not slip and the sketching will be almost as smooth as drawing on a piece of paper.
For today, we've chosen a sweet cupcake with cream and a surprise, along with a unicorn. We start with sketching our cupcake, starting with the mold, then the contours of the mentioned surprise, a puppy's face, and on its head the cream.
If we do mess up while sketching, we can wipe it off and correct the sketch so that we're happy with it. At the end of the day, this is what a sketch is for. It must be done because at a later stage, once we apply colors, there will no longer be room for mistakes.
On the second nail, we sketch out our unicorn, basically a horse with one horn. On our nail art glass palette, we put out drops of the shades we'll be using today: Arte Brillante Caramel Cake, White, and Black Poison. Master of Pastel colors: Easter Twister, Mr. Pancake, Marmalady, Ice Dream, Melancholic, and Trella Morella. With the mixing tool, we combine Arte Brillante Caramel Cake with white and a bit of mocha to get a shade that's just right for our puppy's face. Using the number 4 nail art brush, we pick up a drop of the created shade and fill in the doggy's face. Cure in the lamp for 15 seconds. We clean the brush on a dry cotton pad and pick the Marmalady shade on our brush tip. We paint in the entire muffin mold and cure it in the lamp for 15 seconds. We clean the brush again on a dry cotton pad, and with the mixing tool, we mix Arte Brillante Mocha with white to slightly lighten the dark shade of brown. We pick up the mixture on a clean brush and mark the ears of the pooch and the face in the shape of an upside-down U. Cure in the lamp for 15 seconds and clean the brush with a dry cotton pad. Next, we move on to our cupcake cream. Our cream will be multicolored. As the first shade from the left, we have Melancholic, then Ice Dream, and for the crown of the cream, Trella Morella. Cure in the lamp for 15 seconds. Time for the second nail. Our unicorn will be filled in with Arte Brillante White. Using just a drop of color on our brush, fill in the neck and head. We cure for 15 seconds in the lamp.
Don't worry about being able to see a pencil sketch on the nail whilst painting, because after the styling is finished, it will no longer be visible. Even if we go a little outside the lines, nothing will happen. The most important thing is to keep the proportions of the entire figure.
Now we dip the brush in the Mr. Pancake shade and color in the unicorn's mane, creating highlights on the back of the head. Cure in the lamp for 15 seconds. We clean the brush with a dry cotton pad and pick up a little Easter Twister to refine the fringe, right next to the earlier highlights and also along the bottom of the bust. Cure in the lamp for 15 seconds. We clean the brush with a dry cotton pad and dip it in Marmalade. We continue to fill in the sketch by colouring the next strands of hair. Cure in the lamp for 15 seconds. We clean the brush again with a dry cotton pad and using Arte Brillante white again to paint in the unicorn's ear.
It's not that we forgot to paint the ear earlier, it was just easier for our stylist to paint the strands of hair and then place the ear among them. Each of us has a different technique. Remember, work the way you like, try out different methods. The most important thing is that you're pleased with the end result.
With the mixture we used for the puppy's mouth, we paint our unicorn's horn, its trademark. In fact, only now does it turn into a real unicorn. Still working with brush 004, pick up a bit of Arte Brillante, black poison, and start painting the contours. We go back to our cupcake and delicately outline the contours around the decoration. Cure in the lamp for 15 seconds. We do exactly the same with our unicorn. We outline the entire decoration. We try to paint in one continuous line, only gently touching the nail base. Cure the contour in the lamp for 15 seconds. We then switch to Master Nail Art 007 brush.
To make it easier for you to work the brush while painting decorations, our suggestion is that you moisten the bristles of the brush in the base or top with a sticky layer before starting. The brush becomes more flexible and it's much easier to paint with it on a small surface, such as the nail.
Apply a bit of wet look on a dry cotton pad and dampen the brush, making sure to cover all the bristles in the top coat. We pick up the colour from the palette onto the brush, making sure to let the whole brush soak up the colour, not just the tip. Our nail tech additionally, after picking up the colour, drains it by smearing out a thin line on the glass. We can now draw in the thin contours inside the decorations, starting with the crown of the mould, then a thin contour to cut off the cupcake cream from the puppy's head. We paint the contours of the cream separating each colour. Then, inside the mouth, that is at the ears and mouth. Then on each cream colour we paint thin lines along the inside, filling their space. Cure in the lamp for 15 seconds.
Of course, you can cure more often on each painted line once you feel it's been drawn properly. This will probably remove any fear of possible smudging as you progress. Because you or your client might accidentally touch it, there is always one. Of course, if anything goes wrong, we can wipe it off with a cotton pad soaked in wipe off and fix it. But to keep our working time down, it is better to work focused and not spoil anything.
We continue working with Arte Brillante Black Poison. Next, we paint small line-shaped eyes above the mouth. Using the probe, pick up a tiny drop of Arte Brillante Black Poison and fill in the doggy's nose. Cure in the lamp for 15 seconds. We move back to the second decoration and return to Nail Art 007 brush. We also outline the unicorn. We start from its horn and contour it in with thin lines. Just like on the cupcake cream, we paint the lines on the inside to fill out the space. We mark the contour of the head by drawing the line of the lower jaw and nose. Thus, we mark the clear position of the head and accent the neck. We outline all colour boundaries. Finally, we paint in the details: the eye, the nostril, and the eyelashes. At this point, with so many details, we cure the decoration in the lamp for 15 seconds. Now, for the main event. Creating the real patch. Switch to the 004 nail art brush, pick up some Arte Brillante, white, and create a contour around both decorations. The line we draw should be slightly thicker than the already painted black contour lines. However, it needs to be of the same thickness throughout the entire outline. First, we outline the cupcake. We cure the contour in the lamp for 15 seconds. We then proceed to do the same around our unicorn, paying special attention to the contour around the horn. We guide the brush very carefully.
Patch art is almost done. All that's left is to cover it with a top coat and you can let the client go home.
We cure the contour in the lamp for 15 seconds. Add a drop of Arte Brillante Black Poison and Mocha onto our palette and 2 tiny droplets of Tip Top right next to each of them. With the mixing tool, add a little of the colour product to the tip top, creating with one a translucent shade of grey and a translucent brown with the other. Soak the 004 nail art brush in the translucent brown and add contours on the inside of the mouth, under the ears, around the nose, and just above the mould. Cure in the lamp for 15 seconds. The same mixture is also used to shade the entire side of the unicorn's horn. Cure in the lamp for 15 seconds. We clean the brush and take a drop of our translucent grey to outline certain places around the entire patch, creating a shadow. We do not do it around the entire decoration, but in selected places. We just want to add some depth, not more contours. With the same translucent grey mixture, we contour the unicorn's lower jaw and the bit just under the mane along the neck. A bit of shading near the ear, here and there, near the white outline on the outside. Cure in the lamp for 15 seconds. We add a drop of glass rose water on our glass palette, pick up a little on a clean brush, and add a delicate shading on the cupcake mold and the dog's cheeks in the first decoration, and on the mane of our second decoration, highlighting the strands. Cure in the lamp for 15 seconds. Then, using a bit of Arte Brillante black poison on a clean brush, on the border of the white outline we add seams, tiny dotted thin black lines. Thanks to this, we achieve a real patch look on both decorations. Cover the entire decorated surface of the nails with a top coat of super matte, driving it right up to the cuticles and cure it in the lamp for 60 seconds. We wipe the cured decorations with a cotton pad soaked in wipe-off, and this is how our two patch art decorations look. I have to admit they look like quite the duo.
This is the end of this episode. We really hope you've learnt a fair amount today. Want to share your experiences with similar decorations? Or perhaps you've already had the opportunity to create patch art nails? Well, let us know in the comments. See you soon.